The Valley of the Kings. For over 3,000 years, the golden sands of Egypt held their breath. By the early 20th century, the world believed this place had nothing left to give. Archaeologists and grave robbers alike had scoured every inch of rock and dust. They said the valley was exhausted. They said there were no more pharaohs to be found. But one man refused to listen. His name was Howard Carter. While others saw only barren wasteland, Carter saw a puzzle missing its final piece. He was looking for a name that barely existed in history books. Tutankhamun. It is November 1922. The air is cooling, but the pressure is at its boiling point. This was not just another excavation season. It was the very last chance. To understand the weight of November 26th, we must understand the desperation that preceded it. Howard Carter was being funded by George Herbert, the 5th Earl of Carnarvon. Lord Carnarvon had spent a fortune over nearly 15 years searching for this elusive tomb. By the summer of 1922, Carnarvon had had enough. The economy was bad, the results were non-existent, and he summoned Carter to Highclere Castle in England to cancel the funding. Carter, desperate and convinced he was close, pleaded for one single final season. He even offered to pay for it himself, despite being nearly broke. Moved by his passion, Lord Carnarvon agreed. One last season. Carter returned to Egypt with a heavy heart but a focused mind. He decided to dig in a specific triangular area near the tomb of Ramses VI, a spot previously ignored because of ancient workmen's huts built on top of it. Work began on November 1st. Just 3 days later, on the morning of November 4th, 1922, a strange silence fell over the dig site. A water boy clearing away sand had stumbled upon a stone that looked too flat, too deliberate to be natural. Carter rushed over. It was a step cut into the bedrock. As the workers feverishly cleared the sand, a staircase emerged. 12 steps leading down into the darkness. At the bottom, a blocked doorway, plastered and sealed. Carter's heart must have been pounding in his chest. He examined the seals. They bore the impression of the royal necropolis, the jackal and 9 captives. It was a royal tomb. But whose? Discipline is a torment in archaeology. Instead of breaking in, Carter did the honorable thing. He covered the staircase back up to protect it and sent a telegram to England. At last have made wonderful discovery in valley. A magnificent tomb with seals intact. Recovered same for your arrival. Congratulations. Then began the longest 3 weeks of Howard Carter's life. He sat guard over a buried staircase, wondering if he had found a king or perhaps just a cache of unused equipment. Maybe it had already been robbed in ancient times. The doubt was agonizing. On November 23rd, Lord Carnarvon arrived in Luxor, accompanied by his daughter, Lady Evelyn Herbert. The work resumed instantly. The staircase was cleared once more, revealing the full plastered door. This time, looking closely at the bottom of the door, Carter saw what he had missed before, a seal bearing a specific cartouche. The name was undeniable, Tutankhamun. The tomb was real, but was it intact? Robbers had clearly entered twice in antiquity, resealing the hole. Had they left anything behind? November 26, 1922, the day that changed archaeology forever. They had passed the first door and cleared a long corridor filled with rubble. Now they stood before a second sealed door. The air was stagnant, untouched for 3,000 years. Carter stood front and center. Beside him were Carnarvon, Lady Evelyn, and assistant Arthur Callender. With trembling hands, Carter made a small breach in the upper left-hand corner of the doorway. He inserted an iron rod. It passed through freely. The space beyond was empty. He lit a candle to test for dangerous gases. Then he widened the hole just enough to peer inside. At first he saw nothing, The hot air escaping the chamber caused the candle flame to flicker violently. But as his eyes adjusted to the gloom, details began to emerge from the shadows. Strange animals, statues, and gold. Everywhere the glint of gold. The others, unable to see, waited in tortured suspense. Lord Carnarvon could stand it no longer. He tugged at Carter's sleeve and asked the question that would echo through history. "Can you see anything?" Carter, struck dumb with amazement, could only whisper, "Yes, wonderful things." They widened the hole and looked in. They were staring into the antechamber. It was piled high with chariots, beds, chests, and alabaster vases. It was a chaotic, beautiful mess of treasures meant to accompany the boy king into the afterlife. It was the most complete discovery ever made in the Valley of the Kings. What followed was a decade of excavation, revealing the golden mask and the sarcophagus that we know today. But nothing would ever match the magic of that single moment on November 26th, when a flickering candle illuminated the past. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with fellow history lovers. See you in the next discovery.